Hey guys, today we're going to be doing some maintenance on this 2.5 gallon tank. I tied for first with it at my club's aquascaping competition, and I figured it's time to give it some love again. So let's get into the video. So this is what we're working with: overgrown pearlweed, plants, etc. It's way too tall, so we're going to trim all the plants. This was it a couple months ago after the competition. It's a far cry from what it was, but we'll get it back into shape. So I'm starting with cutting this long plant down. Don't worry, I'll replant it later, but for now it needs to get cut down to size, along with the pearlweed that started growing in the watered column. There are a couple of floating plants on the surface here that I'm going to take out as well. They were never meant to be in here. Now I'm going to start cutting the pearlweed down. This is my favorite part. I cut it long at first because it's so tall and hard to get low enough the first time. So I left it long in the first pass, and I'll cut it down to size the next time. I'll usually cut the pearlweed a bit lower, but I don't think it's quite dense enough to do that yet. You might be wondering why I left it so long before cutting, and that's a great question. I like to leave the pearlweed growing for as long as I can because 1, it's easier, and 2, it starts to creep along the soil and become denser if it's left long. Once the pearlweed is fully grown, then I'll cut it very short and won't let it get too long again. Now I'm going to do the second pass. This is how long I'm going to leave it. Usually I'll take the clippings from the pearlweed and replant them in the same tank to make it denser, but the tank was already covered enough, so I only replanted one small spot in the back that really needed it. If the pearlweed looks a little uneven, it probably is. This is my first carpeted tank, and I've only cut it a handful of times. I'll get better with practice, don't worry, it'll regrow. I don't think I've ever left it this long after trimming, but hopefully it'll help it creep sooner. I'm doing the finishing touches like replanting, refilling the tank, and scraping the glass. This is the final tank. It turned out pretty good. All the plants are still alive, so I call that a bonus. The pearlweed is purling, which is a good sign, meaning it's happy and wanting to grow. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.